Welcome everyone. Today I want to explain a little bit about capturing wildernesses. Wildernesses are very important because their occupation boosts the percentage of resource production in the city that claims them. Also, the fights that can result in an occupation serve as a good source of experience for your officers. Here you can see that the officer we are leveling now is a combat officer with some nice items won in the quest for the best event. NapWar often holds events where you can win items and packages, and these items were part of the reward for coming in third place. So you can have one wilderness for each level of your city hall. Here you can see that we have a level 10 city hall, so we can lay claim to 10 wildernesses. We want to have the highest level wildernesses we can get, and you can see that these need to be refreshed. We're already holding many forests because we have more lumber mills in the city than any other resource building, so percentage wise we'll get the best bonus from a forest. Going to the map screen, we can see that there's a level 10 forest close, and that it has no owner, so we need to scout it and find out how many enemy troops currently reside in the wilderness. You may send one scout to find the number of enemy. If your scouting technology is too low, you'll only get an estimation of the troop count, such as a horde. You can find the numbers associated with these estimations at the NapWar wiki. Once we have the troop count, we need to decide what amount of troops to send to make sure there's a fight. Fights for wildernesses use experience, items, and often items worth prestige and other great rewards. So tempting the enemy into a fight is always desired, but not necessarily necessary to occupy the wilderness. Many factors go into determining the amount of troops to send. With a high-level combat officer with good command, like we have here, we'll only need about half the troops the other officers will require to win the battle. Here we send 7,500 archers and a few blocking units. Then we'll set a timer to alert us when the battle is ready to be conducted. The fight, though, is pretty straightforward. I move troops in position to defend. The billman and the grenader will serve as blockers in case the enemy gets too close. The archers will use their range attack to kill the enemy from a safe distance. I brought the hussar along to show an example of speed. If my hussar doesn't move as far, they'll be able to get into a blocking position, but since they move all the way over to the infantry when I move them forward, they actually hit the infantry, and then the infantry retaliates and kills the hussar. Then later on in the round, when it's the infantry's turn to move, they'll still move forward. So really we didn't get a block out of the hussar like we had liked to. Be aware of this as you conduct battles in the game. Now let's look at the round by round. Remember, the officer has a mount that has 50 speed and enough command to give the speed bonus to all the troops involved in the battle, which equates to a 50% bonus. Notice that the grenader and the muskets were faster than the enemy billmen, so they moved first in the order of battle. Making your troops faster on the battlefield is a very important goal to constantly strive for throughout the game. Now we move back to the wilderness screen in the city hall and recall our officer and replace him with an officer with high sagacity, and send him out to gather with 10 transports. After he gathers for 18 to 24 hours, you can pick the wildernesses to gain the resources, jewelry, and even pirate treasure chests. Here's an example coming up of a pick report. The more units you send to gather in the wildernesses, the more resources you will get in return. So if you send a lot of resources, a lot of units, you'll get a lot of resources. If you send just one unit, you won't get as many resources, but you'll still get the jewelry that you need. Jewelry is important because you need it to gain ranks. You can sell it for gold if you have a level 5 exchange, and you can take that gold to buy resources or technologies. There's a lot of different ways that you can use your jewelry to actually gain prestige and a plethora of different things that you need to play the game. So occupying forces are very, very important. If you want to learn more about wildernesses and different strategies, you can always look up our fogofwarguide.com and get a copy of the strategy guide. This strategy guide, I've put in everything that I know about NapWar, and it will allow you to excel in the game and have a lot more fun. From the Gamers Academy, we thank you and enjoy.